Hi there, Evan here with Market Strategies, coming to you live on a lovely Thursday morning on May 4th, 2017, from lovely Toronto, Ontario, from where I live. As you can see in the background here, I'm actually in my garage getting ready to go to work, so I'll get into this quickly for you guys. China is becoming much more of a house of cards than we actually realized here. I mean, look at some of their PMIs last night. The Caixin Services PMI was 51.5 in April versus 52.2. And their overall composite PMI was 51.2 in April versus 52.1. And we know that credit around the world has been contracting since about February, and hence this whole reflation trade that's supposed to be happening here really hasn't really materialized the last few months, has it? I mean, in some countries it has. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Europe itself's doing really well right now. So Europe we can kind of take out of it, but everywhere else in the world, nothing's really going too good right now, is it? I mean, with credit contracting, China's seriously slowing down. I know the Chinese government there has made an effort to try and pull liquidity out of the system. And even some of their numbers are even worse. I mean, I was reading a number last night that Chinese credit in the month of April was down something like 13%. And hence, what's been the number one thing that's been hurting you guys? And I've been saying this all along. Commodities! I've been telling you since really this whole thing started that oil, especially the big one amongst all the other ones, that the commodities have been overvalued. And what's happened? All the commodities were limit down last night. I mean, you open up oil's down $1 this morning. I mean, iron ore was limit down last night. Copper's down, I think, to around $2.50 now, amongst other things, right? So, what's happening here? I think for the most part in the world right now, the global reflation trade, I think besides Europe, I think Europe is going to be the outlier here. But everywhere else around the world, it just doesn't look the part right now. I mean, obviously, I live here in Canada, where obviously the housing bubble looks like it's really starting to burst now. Australia, you could have the same thing going on there. Although I don't think there's far along into it really as Canada is right now. Japan, I mean, actually I've been doing a little bit better Japan, but Japan and South Korea, because they export a lot to China, their numbers there still aren't that good. I mean, South Korea, of course, you have, well, besides the whole thing that's going on with the Prime Minister having to resign because of the corruption ring with the Samsung Vice Chairman, the son, but that I won't bore you guys with that. That's for another day. Yeah, so the big thing we need to keep an eye on right now, guys, is China. That whole Chinese reflation trade might be coming right off the rails. Or it might not have even been a reflation trade at all. I mean, who knows here, right? Yeah, so just go ahead and watch China. If you're short oil, especially, again, the HYG, the XLE, the XOP, I would stay short those right now. I'd see no reason to even be long there at all. And considering how many longs are actually still in that market, I think it still has a lot of room to the downside, actually. Commodities, if you're short, though, I mean, there's a couple of commodity bonds in the HYG, too. The HYG is a general high-yield ETF. There is some metals and mining in there, too. It's not as big as energy, but it's a little bit of a component in there, so that'll keep falling as well. If you are short some of the commodity names, stay short those too. Yeah, I just don't see any reason why to be long here. In fact, I think especially in commodities, there's a lot more room to the downside. I mean, starting in about February last year, every commodity under the sun was starting to go up because of everyone thought that the Chinese were inflating, and hence everything went off to the races. I mean, I noticed iron ore doubled from a certain point. Coking coal did almost the same thing up until what, November or December. It's been rolling over ever since, except for the small little spike I had because of what happened in Australia. But again, that's another thing. So yeah, China looks like it's rolling back over here again. The reflation trade around the world, except for Europe, looks very much on pause. And I would stay short commodities. That's all I really got to say for this video. If you liked what you heard, upvote the video on VidMe or like the video on YouTube. And please leave a comment down below. And like I always say, if you didn't like what you heard, leave a comment down below also. And also go ahead, follow me on VidMe, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And before enacting on any of my advice I give here, please consult your financial advisor. Have a wonderful day, everybody.